When you buy a ticket to a tennis match, you expect to see world-class athletes, lightning-fast serves, and maybe even a nail-biting tiebreak. You're there for the thrill, the competition, and the electric atmosphere that only a major tournament can deliver. What you don't expect is a photographer, camera in hand, suddenly striding onto the court right in the middle of a crucial point, leaving everyone stunned. But that's exactly what unfolded at the 2025 US Open, in front of thousands of fans and millions watching at home. In an instant, the focus shifted from the player's skill to utter confusion. The match was no longer about tennis. It was about chaos, broken rules, and a spectacle no one could have predicted. Picture this: the sun dipping below the New York skyline, the stadium buzzing with anticipation, every serve and volley carrying the weight of the tournament. Suddenly, a man with a camera steps onto the sacred court, shattering the rhythm and leaving everyone speechless. The players freeze mid-motion, the umpire's jaw drops, and the crowd collectively gasps. For a moment, time stands still as everyone tries to process what just happened. It was as if someone had crashed a live TV broadcast, turning a routine match into a scene straight out of a movie. This bizarre interruption didn't just disrupt the match, it sparked a nationwide debate about security, professionalism, and the unpredictable nature of live sports. Was the photographer to blame for crossing the line? Should security have acted faster? Did the umpire handle the situation correctly? Suddenly, everyone, from fans to commentators, had a strong opinion. One person's split-second mistake sent shockwaves through the tournament, dominating headlines and social media feeds. The US Open has seen its share of drama, but this was something entirely new. A reminder that in sports, the unexpected can steal the show. So, what really happened that evening? How did a simple mistake spiral into a full-blown controversy? Let's break it all down. We'll hear directly from the photographer at the center of the storm, see how the players responded in the heat of the moment, and take a closer look at the umpire's controversial decision that followed. This is the untold story behind the chaos that rocked the US Open and left the sports world buzzing. Because this story isn't just about tennis, it's about human error, the pressure of the spotlight, and how quickly things can unravel on the world's biggest stage. When the unexpected happens, the world can't look away. The fallout is instant, and the questions keep coming. So let's dive in and uncover the truth. What led to this unforgettable moment that will be talked about for years to come? Who was really responsible for the chaos? Was it a simple mistake or a sign of deeper issues in the sport? And how did a single misstep by one person become the defining story of the entire tournament, overshadowing even the most incredible rallies? Get ready, because this is one for the history books. Let's get started and unravel the mystery behind the US Open's picture-perfect problem. The match? Daniilmedvedev, the former US Open champion known for his icy composure and relentless baseline play, versus BenjaminBonzi, the determined underdog from France who had nothing to lose and everything to prove. Medvedev, coming in as the 13th seed, was widely expected to cruise through the first round with little resistance. His reputation as a hard-court specialist made him a clear favorite in the eyes of fans and analysts alike. But Bonzi, a fighter with a gritty style and a fearless attitude, saw this as his golden opportunity to make history on one of tennis's biggest stages. It was the classic setup: champion versus challenger, reputation versus opportunity, a battle of nerves and ambition. Even before the first serve, the atmosphere was electric, the tension almost tangible as both players locked in their focus. Louis Armstrong Stadium, one of the US Open's most iconic arenas, was packed to the rafters, buzzing with anticipation and the energy of thousands of fans. Then, in a stunning turn, Bonzi shocked everyone by taking the first two sets, playing the best tennis of his career and leaving the crowd in disbelief. Medvedev, usually so composed, suddenly found himself on the ropes, staring down the possibility of a humiliating first-round exit. Every point in the third set felt like the end of the road for Medvedev, as Bonzi kept pushing, refusing to back down. Bonzi was now serving for the match point, with the chance to pull off one of the biggest upsets of the tournament. The crowd held its breath, every spectator frozen in suspense, knowing they were witnessing something special. Medvedev, refusing to give in, was fighting for survival with every ounce of energy and experience he had. This was the kind of moment every tennis fan dreams of: raw, unpredictable, and absolutely thrilling. And right at this critical point, just as the tension reached its peak, everything unraveled in a way no one could have foreseen. The unexpected was about to happen, sending shockwaves through the stadium and beyond. In a single instant, the fate of the match, and perhaps the entire tournament, would be thrown into chaos. All eyes were glued to the court, the tension almost unbearable as everyone waited to see what would happen next. No one, not even the most seasoned tennis experts, could have predicted the twist that was about to unfold. The stage was set for chaos. And then, in a moment that would be talked about for years, it happened. Match point for Bonzi. The stadium is electric, buzzing with anticipation. Every eye in the arena is glued to the court, breaths held, hearts pounding. Bonzi steps up to serve, the weight of the moment pressing down. He tosses the ball, swings, and it's a fault. A collective gasp ripples through the crowd. No big deal, he tells himself. He wipes his brow, takes a deep breath, and lines up for his second serve. The tension is palpable, the silence deafening as everyone waits for the next move. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a man with a camera, Selçuk Akar, walks straight onto the court. For a split second, no one reacts. Then, total disbelief. The players freeze mid-motion, their focus shattered. The crowd erupts in confusion and shock. The umpire, stunned, shouts for him to leave the court immediately. The photographer hesitates, looking around, clearly confused and unsure of what to do next. The tension escalates as everyone tries to process what's happening. Security rushes in, officials scramble to restore order, and the crowd murmurs in disbelief. The atmosphere, once electric, is now thick with uncertainty and anxiety. The game is stopped cold. Over 6 minutes of chaos unfold. Players stand awkwardly, unsure whether to stretch, pace, or simply wait. Coaches and officials huddle, trying to figure out the next steps. In tennis, that's an eternity, especially at match point. Every second feels like an hour as the tension lingers in the air. Players' muscles cool, focus evaporates, and the razor-sharp tension that defined the moment dissolves into uncertainty. The mental edge, so crucial at this level, begins to slip away. The entire stadium's energy shifts from excitement to confusion. Fans exchange worried glances, unsure if they'll witness history or chaos. Eventually, Akar is escorted away by security, but the damage is done. The spell of the match is broken, and the players' concentration is in tatters. The match's rhythm is shattered. What was once a battle of nerves and skill is now a test of who can recover fastest from the chaos. The players are out of their zone, their routines disrupted. Some shake their heads, others pace, all trying to regain their composure. Now the umpire faces a tough decision: how to restart play fairly. Should there be a warm-up? Should the point be replayed? The pressure is immense. One man's misstep has thrown the US Open into turmoil. The world is watching, and the stakes have never felt higher. The crowd is restless, the players unsettled. The moment is lost, replaced by a sense of disbelief and frustration. The match will never be the same. The interruption has left its mark, and both players know it. All eyes turn to the umpire, waiting for the next move. The weight of the moment hangs heavy in the air. What happens next will only add to the controversy. Every decision now will be scrutinized, every call debated. The interruption is over, but the fallout is just beginning. Players, officials, and fans alike will remember this moment for years to come. The US Open has never seen anything like this. The drama, the confusion, the sheer unpredictability. This is a moment that will go down in tennis history. The story is far from over. The outcome of the match and its legacy now hang in the balance. The next decision will ignite even more debate as everyone wonders. How do you recover from a moment when the whole match stood still? So what was the photographer thinking? Selçuk Akar claims he's innocent. He's a seasoned photojournalist, not a rookie. Akar says a security guard told him the match was stopped, so he moved for a better shot. He insists he was following instructions, not breaking rules. He's asked for video evidence to clear his name. Akar feels he's the scapegoat, not the villain. His defense adds a new layer to the chaos. While Akar pleaded his case, the USTA acted fast. Their rules are strict. No one enters the court during play, period. The USTA's statement said Akar ignored security and umpire instructions. They revoked his credential for the rest of the tournament. For a photojournalist, that's a career blow. The USTA needed to show control and protect the event's integrity. Akar says he was misled by security. The USTA says he broke the rules. Two stories, one big conflict. The punishment was swift and severe. The official ruling was clear, but the truth remained murky. The gap between Akar's account and the USTA's only deepened the controversy. The incident became a lesson in how quickly reputations can be lost. The US Open sent a message, rules come first, but the central mystery was never solved. With the photographer gone, the umpire faced a tough call. Bonzi had faulted on his first serve before the interruption. The umpire decided to replay the point, giving Bonzi a fresh first serve. In tennis, that's a huge advantage. Medvedev was furious. He felt the interference came after the fault. He stormed to the umpire, accusing him of bending the rules. The rulebook allows a replay for outside interference, but timing is everything. Did the disruption start after the fault, or does the whole sequence count? The umpire sided with Bonzi, sparking outrage. Medvedev's anger was directed at the umpire, not the photographer. The match's fate now hinged on this controversial decision. Medvedev's protest ignited the crowd. He rallied fans to boo the umpire's call, turning the stadium into a cauldron of noise. Bonzi, 1 point from victory, was caught in the chaos. The crowd's hostility made it nearly impossible for him to serve. The umpire struggled to restore order. Bonzi later said Medvedev put oil on the fire. The pressure was immense, serving for the match in a hostile arena. All momentum was lost, concentration shattered. The match became a test of nerves and mental strength. Bonzi had to dig deep just to continue. The scene was pure pandemonium, players, umpire, and fans all on edge. The incident showed how quickly a match can spiral out of control. One decision had changed everything. When play resumed, Medvedev saved match point and stormed back, winning the third set tiebreak and dominating the fourth set. It looked like he'd pull off a comeback, but Bonzi regrouped in the fifth, breaking Medvedev's serve and winning 6-4. After nearly 4 hours, Bonzi had the biggest win of his career. Medvedev, crushed, smashed his racket in frustration. The loss ended his Grand Slam season and made him the first former champ out in 2025. For Bonzi, it was a career-defining moment. For Medvedev, a bitter exit remembered for his outburst. The incident raised questions about security and umpiring at the highest level. It became a cautionary tale for the sport. The match was unforgettable for all the wrong reasons. The fallout would be discussed for years. The US Open would never be the same. So, what did we learn? Clear communication is everything. One misunderstanding can create chaos, even at the highest level. Fairness isn't always black and white. What's fair to one can feel unfair to another. The incident sparked debate about rules, psychology, and pressure in sports. Bonzi and Medvedev both showed how mental strength can make or break a match. Behind every event are people under pressure, and sometimes things go wrong. These moments create drama and debate, and remind us why we watch. Even in a world of rules, unpredictability reigns. That's what makes sports so compelling, and that's why this story will be remembered.